Okay, cool. So I think we live. I think we in here. So let's check it out. So basically what I'm doing is I'm able to be able to show you guys. If you guys can hear me, I got this mic hooked up. What we're doing is, for those who missed out on the conversation, me and one of my mentors, CEO Matty J, we wanted to do this live case study, and he has these set of business principles that he's been building and developing and tweaking since 2009 on hundreds and hundreds of different businesses and endeavors that he even embarked on. And so now he knows that the systems work. But the thing is, he has not had anybody that was consistent enough and self-disciplined enough to be able to go through all the steps to where he can show others that it works, not only for himself, but for others. And so obviously, me being the individual that I am and me being a student of the game, I took the challenge, and what I told him was, what, we need to do a live case study. And with us doing a live case study, I'll be that individual, right? I'll be that one that go through step by step by step each process. Why? Because I feel like it's something that's needed. I've seen what he's been able to accomplish, and he's been giving me game, over the years. And then for two, it'll be able to help him. And a lot of times, people be so focused on trying to better themselves that they don't want to, serve. And anybody who know me know I'm a servant first. And so my thing is, if you respect the game, right? Whatever game it is, for me, it just so happened to be the game of entrepreneurship. If you respect the game, if I respect the game, if we respect the game so much, then let's make sure that we're serving in it as well, right? Like, you got to start, you got to pay your dues. And I understand in this situation, now he's definitely paid his dues, and so now I'm paying mine, and paying it forward, and being able to see, okay, so how can I be of assistance to him as opposed to him trying to pour into me? Okay, you had these principles that you perfected. Cool. Nobody has been disciplined enough to be able to go through it so that you can be able to show others that they work. Cool. Well, let me be that individual. And so without talking and ranting too much, right? On the first phase, it's let me let y'all look at it. Let me slow down and let y'all look at what it is. So as you can see, you got the phase of preparation, right? You got first grade, you got second grade, you got third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, all the way to 12th grade. And then also has an extra strategy. And then he has plenty of examples from different business endeavors that he embarked upon over the years. And so obviously, if you're going in order, then you got to start at the beginning. And so what I did was, I've already started at the beginning. And the first thing that we had to do was what he calls a self-evaluation, right? So what does a self-evaluation look like? Well, let me show you. And so like I was saying, this is more so for documentary purposes. But if I'm able to be able to help somebody or assist somebody, or somebody's able to be able to see my journey while doing this, then I feel like, we did our part. Bad. So finally, man, the page over here tripping. So it was just general questions, right? And so I can go through some of them, right? But it was general questions like, what in the world makes you the most happiest, right? And so for myself, I just went through and answered it so I can briefly go through certain things, again, for documentary purposes, but also, too, for people to be able to see my mindset in going through this. And so, what in the world makes you most happiest? For me, it's really being loved and appreciated, right? And when you break it down, I know it can be, make a lot of money, or, being able to, do for my parents, or be able to, do for the ones around me, or be able to, be of service to the community, or, uplift, whatever the case is. It can be, you can name off all type of stuff, but that's just the derivative of the main thing. And for me, the main thing is, why do you want to make sure that you're able to do for your parents? Because you want to show them that you love them, and then you want them to be able to appreciate you. So everything goes back down, for me anyway, to the main thing, which is being loved and being appreciated. And so I understood that early on, and so I know that everything I do, although, okay, building businesses, or, creating needs, or, being able to, create things that can be able to help individuals further better themselves, all that is fine. But when you cut away all the fat, it's so that I can be loved and appreciated. Because at the end of the day, I want to leave behind a legacy of that I've helped somebody, that somebody was touched or affected by something that I did. That's love, that's appreciation. And so if I'm able to do that, then I'm fine, right? And like I said on here, I get fulfillment out of achieving goals that I have, that have a positive effect on the people that I care about, right? And so again, and with me knowing that, I understand now, okay, cool. So as long as I'm able to do something that creates a positive effect for those that I care about, then I'm succeeding, right? And so then, another question, like, what type of person do you want to be? And so for me, it's one who is able to reach his greatest potential and dies empty, period. I feel like that's pretty much self-explanatory, right? What type of people are you looking to serve, and why? And for me, I'm just looking to serve individuals, who know that they have more in them, but don't have anybody they can really relate to, right? And when I say that, it's like for myself, the reason that I'm doing this right now, the reason that I'm even documenting this whole journey right now, is simply because a lot of times when people make it and when people are quote unquote successful, and when they've gotten millions of dollars, and when they got millions of people looking up to them, it's really kind of hard for them to be able to, or somebody to be able to relate to them. Because, for instance, I'm not just gonna say no names, but people who made millions and millions of dollars and and have been successful and been wealthy for years, you can't it's kind of hard for them to be able to relate to somebody who, only got $10 in their bank account, or $100 in their bank account, or still having to worry about month to month about the certain things they're going through, right? That ain't too far from myself. So with me doing this, people will be able to see themselves inside of me, right? And I feel like that's where the magic lies. And so that's why I raised my hand to be able to embark on this journey and to be vulnerable enough to be able to be transparent enough to come on this journey, because I understand that this is what I was looking for, right? And if somebody's able to see my journey and know that literally they can still touch me, and I have not gotten to the point, because I know where I'm going. That's a guarantee. Like, I know where I'm going. I'm like, I know I'm destined for greatness all the way around. But again, I have to pay my dues. And so this is part of me paying my dues. And if I don't do this part, then that's blocking my next step. And so when people are able to touch you, and people are able to be able to see, okay, this person is still genuine. Oh, this person's still learning. Oh, this is how he got to this next step. And we were able to document that. That's important. Imagine if Steve Jobs documented his every move. Imagine if Jay-Z documented his every move. Imagine if whoever you looked up to documented their every move before they were who we know them to be today. Imagine if that was documented. Do you know how big that'll be? Do you know how many people will watch it over and over and over again? Because then they'll be able to see what the person was like before they were that person. They'll be able to see the mindset that individual had before he or she necessarily had the money or the success or the trials, or AAA, that they'll be able to see the trials that they went through, the obstacles they went through, everything, right? And so for me, that's why I feel like, I really just want people to be able to tune in who feel like they can still touch me, can still relate to me, right? Because there's a lot of fake teachers out there that's painting these fake pictures of their journey, right? And like I said, I was once the individual that was looking for that individual to be able to relate to, so I know how important that is. And because you have so many fake teachers out here that's painting illusions of their journey, or making it seem like everything was all glitter and gold, or just showing you all the good but not necessarily really showing you the bad but trying to talk it to you. Nah, show me your documentation. Show me where you had to struggle. Show me when you had to go out there and try to make ends meet. Show me when you had to be able to go out there, with no money and be able to try to do this or do that. Like, they can't. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I saw a way for me to be able to take advantage of the situation, right? And I saw a niche that I could be able to come into, and I can end up being that individual that literally is not quote unquote successful, right? But also too, that's not lost, right? So I know exactly where I'm going, and I'm striving every day towards where I'm going. And if I'm able to articulate that and visually show that, then I'll be able to bridge the two together. And so I found my niche, I found my lane, right? And so that's why, again, those are the type of individuals I'm looking to serve, and that's why. And so, of course, I'm just giving certain examples, so I'm not going to really bore y'all with my in-depth. If y'all want me to go through each question and be able to, explain to you guys why I said what I said, or why I did what I did, or why I thought the way I thought, then y'all can let me know that. But this, again, is really strictly for documentation purposes. So a couple of other questions. What type of people are you looking to serve, like we said? What type of product or service are you looking to serve to them, and why? What have been your 3 greatest successes to date? What ways have you, sabotaged yourself from reaching goals? What are your list of failures that you have yet to overcome? What are your list of failures that you have overcome? Who helps keep you accountable, right? How will you reward yourself once you reach your goals? On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with your life right now? And I feel like this is an important one. And so I definitely touch on this one real quick, right? Because you have to be honest with yourself. In order to be able to make any type of true progress, you have to be honest with yourself and let yourself know where you are right now. That's not a negative thing. That's an honest conversation to have. And a lot of times people don't want to have those conversations, right? Imagine you asking somebody, imagine you going out or you talking to your significant other, or you talking to, one of your partners, or you talking to a homegirl, or you talking to somebody you care about dearly, or you talking to a stranger. And, instead of doing all that shallow conversation and having all those shallow conversations, you ask them, hey, let me ask you a question on a scale of 1 to 10. How happy are you with your life right now? I guarantee you they're going to stop everything they're doing and they're going to think about it. Or they're going to try to brush it off because they're miserable and they don't want to admit it. But for those who actually do want to have those in-depth conversations, they're going to stop everything they're doing. I guarantee you they're going to put their phone down at that moment. And they're going to be like, okay, so you really trying to talk about something that really matters, right? And so for myself, right, I feel like right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy I am in my life right now, I say I'm a 6. And let me tell you why I say a 6. Because I'm thankful enough to be able to know where I'm trying to go to, right? Because there's a lot of individuals that don't know where they're trying to go. They just out here living. And don't get me wrong, it don't have to be individuals who not already successful. There's people that's got plenty of money, but they still lost and they still don't know where they're trying to go to. And they dibbling and dabbling in every single thing, trying to still find their purpose. So thankfully for myself, at least I know where I'm trying to go. I know the direction that I'm trying to go. And so because I know that, that's why I say a 6. Now, on the flip side, the reason I say a 6 is because I know where I'm trying to go, but then I'm also self-aware enough to be able to know the things that I'm allowing to be able to stop me and hinder me from being able to get there, right? And so it's kind of like, yin and yang. Like I know where I'm trying to go and I'm able to see it, but then also too, I'm able to recognize the things that are stopping me from being able to achieve that. And once you're able to recognize it, it's a difference being able to recognize something and cut it off, right? And then it's a difference between being able to recognize something and knowing that something or someone is hindering you or stunning you, and you know that, but you still trying to figure out, like you still trapped by it, you're a slave to it, you mentally enslaved to it, and you know that, and you can break free, but you choose not to. And when you know certain things like that, yeah, like it kind of like, dang, and so it take that 10 down a couple notches to a 6. And so what are things that make you happy? And so for me, knowing that God has watched over my family and has given me another day of health and family's health to be able to accomplish the above with my family while my family is here, that's something that makes me grateful beyond measures, right? Why? Because my whole thing, like I told you, what I want to do and what my end goal is I want to be loved and appreciated. And if the ones that I want to be loved and appreciated by are not here for me to be able to, show them my gratitude, then it defeats my purpose, right? For me, that can be the wrong way of thinking about it, but for me it does. If I'm not able to be able to reach my goals while my mother's still here, while my pop's still here, while my grandparents still here, while my auntie's still here, while those who really help mold me and shape me into the individual that I am, if I'm not able to reach my goals while they still here so they can be able to see that everything they did was not in vain, then I feel like I failed them, right? And so the fact that every day I wake up, I wake up, but then for me, more importantly than that, I know that my loved ones woke up as well. That lets me know God is still giving me a little more time. And so don't take it for granted. And so to go back, that's why I have a 6 right now for how happy I am in life, because I know that I'm fighting a clock that I will never be able to see. I don't know when my time is going to be to leave. I don't know when my loved one's time is going to be to leave. And again, I'm not here to, try to get too deep. But these are questions that really make you think and really allow you to be able to assess where you at and where you're trying to go to, and and really give you a blueprint on exactly what your purpose is. That way you're able to make decisions based off of that. And so for me, that's why I gave myself a 6, because I'm fighting against a clock I can't see. I'm fighting against a person that I can't see. And so every day I'm able to wake, and every day that I see my loved ones are able to wake, that just let me know, okay, I got another day to be able to achieve these goals that I'm trying to achieve, to be able to show my love and my appreciation, and so that I can be loved and appreciated, right? And so, like I said, with that, that's that. And then, of course, there's certain things on a scale of 1 to 10. How stressed do you feel? Do you drink alcohol? Do you do any recreational drugs? Then they ask about coaching styles. How do you learn best, right? It asks you about mentality questions and asks you about financial questions. It asks you about, how well does this statement describe you? And you start going through certain things like, could you handle major unexpected expenses? Are you secure with your finances? Do you have money situations? Do you feel like you have the things in life that you want? Can you enjoy life right now with how you're managing money? Are you just getting by, or do you have an abundance to be able to not think about money and think about your purpose, right? And certain things like that. Then, ask more questions. But at the end of the day, what this did, if nothing else, is it really made you have to take time and be able to think and assess yourself, right? Just like with this section, environmental questions. How does your home look? How does your house look? How does your car look, right? Do the people around you, add value to you? Do the media that you consume add value to you? Are you single? Are you dating? Are you married? Are they adding value to you, right? Time management. Are you managing your time properly? I mean, it gets into business assessments, right? Asking, okay, so, what businesses do you run? How do you make money currently right now? Who are the competitors in your niche? What product and service you do? What are the goals? What goals do you have for this year? What goals do you have this year for your sales, right? Like, the content that you're putting out, the customers that you're trying to attract, the customer support, your team, shipping and fulfillment, your network. So it really gets down to the nitty gritty of things. And the thing is, this is just the foundation. And if I took nothing else from this, this is what I took from this. This is just the foundation. This is just getting started. You feel me? And this is just questionnaire number 1. And so what I can say from me, completing this is it definitely did and definitely does allow you time to be able to stop and with all the noise that's going on in our lives, be able to mute all that out and be able to answer questions and be able to really assess yourself and be able to truly be able to allow yourself to know where you really are. And that's important. Because in a world full of social media and a world full of fake illusions nowadays, you ask somebody how they doing, they just hit you with "I'm fine," and that's cool. But like, are you really? You know what I'm saying? That's when you ask them that question on the scale of 1 to 10. How happy are you with your life right now? And if you don't tell me a 10, then you're not fine. So what's really going on? Like, let's go ahead and peel back those layers, right? Like let's get intimate. Like, let's really see what's going on because we're here for a reason. Right, we're not here just to fake each other, because you can fake me out all day, but when you get home and you take that mask off, you got to look yourself in the mirror. You feel me? So if nothing else, this questionnaire really allows you to be able to evaluate yourself and be able to at least have some type of foundation for where you are right now. And it'll make you ask a lot of questions. If I say a 6, why do I say a 6? Right? And if I don't feel like I'm financially literate, then why not? And if I don't know how how I'm making money, then what's the problem? Like, it allows you to be able to address things. And I like it because a lot of time people don't like, receiving constructive criticism. So this is done in a way that you don't have to worry about somebody else criticizing you. You can evaluate yourself. And as long as you're honest with yourself, then you will still be able to get the same, end goal, which is you knowing exactly where you at. So for me, man, this is a plus, and I appreciated that. And like I said, it's safe to say, because I showed y'all, exactly what I did, that I'm able to come down here and I'm able to be able to go ahead and check that off the list. So yeah, so that's that. So again, the self-evaluation.